Hey, it's Mr. Crane here. So, if you were in my first and fourth period design and modeling class, we created some skimmers about a week and a half ago. We launched skimmers 3 times after we built them, and we measured the distance from our starting point to our ending point, and then we entered that data into a spreadsheet. So, I shared the spreadsheet with everybody. If you go back to your emails, an email from me, lcrane at wftigers.org, go up in your search bar and look for that email. You'll find the data that I shared with all students. So, what we're going to do today is, since you guys all use Chromebooks, we're going to create a candlestick plot. I know our assignment says Box and Whisker Plot, but Box and Whisker Plot is actually a proprietary name for Microsoft products for Excel. So Google has its own exact version. It's called Candlestick Plot. Instead of it being horizontal, looking like whiskers and a nose, it's vertical, so it looks like a stick and a candle wick. So they didn't want to steal, I guess, so they changed the orientation direction. So after you get your data, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go and open up a Google slide. So you're going to go Google slide and new. You're going to paste your data into your data AB column, just like I did here. And then up here where it says C, we're going to skip the column or skip that column C. We're going to go to D. And right here, we're going to type in the word minimum. And then in E, we're going to type in lower quartile. And that just means the lower quarter or the 50th percentile of our data group. So everybody had their skimmers, they shot them. We want to know where everybody fits. You're going to have some upper quartiles, some lower quartiles. You're going to have that middle 50th percentile central tendency of all of our data. So that's what we're going to look at. So over here, next to lower quartile, we're going to write upper quartile. And then we're going to write maximum. Who was that group of people that made their max? That shot their skimmers the furthest. All right, so I'm real particular about everything being centered. So I'm going to put it in the center like that. All right, so once I have this, I'm going to, I don't know if you see this. This is an f of x. This is a function, and this column right here is for us to write an equation. Yes, we are doing science and math all in the same class. So we're going to take our data, and I want to take all these numbers right here, and I want to find the lowest number. Could you do that just by going and comparing and finding, oh, there's 360, that's less than 370, or there's 324, there's 300, that's less, so I think it's 300. Could we do that? Yes, we could. But we could also let the computer do it for us, and this is how we do this. So if I move my mouse right there, I come up to this f of x function bar, I type equal sign here, and I type in the word minimum. You see that the program is actually intuitive. It knows what I'm asking it because the programs are already pre-written in here. So see how it opened up a parentheses for me. So the minimum, and then I'm going to select the data range that I want it to actually work on. Let me move this real quick. Do this. Move that to there. I'll pick that data range right there, and I'm going to scroll down. I'll scroll down until I get to the very end, and I'm going to pick that. Oops, I didn't do it. Sorry. Do that one more time. So I'm going to pick this number here, B2. And I can do it this way, or I know that's B2. There's B2 right there. And then if I scroll down, I'm going to hold the shift button down. And I'm going to scroll down till I see the very last, which is B52. You see it wrote B2 colon B52. So if I just hit enter right there, it's going to give me an error. I have to close my parentheses first. Now, once I do that, you see that everything went kind of blue right there. Hit enter, and it calculates that for me. So somewhere, somebody in this group scored an 84, and there it is right there. Michaela Norris scored an 84 in her distance. So you had the minimum. Lower quartile is exactly the same, but there's just one difference. So if I type in equal sign and I write down quartile, there it is right there, quartile, it opens my parentheses. Again, I want the same data. I want this data here. Go over here. I'm holding the shift button down, and I'm going to go down to the last data point. Now, here's the one difference. So I did B2 colon B52, but I want the lower quartile, so I'm typing in a comma and a 1 because 1 in this particular equation is equivalent to the lower quartile data that I'm looking for. 2 would be the middle quartile, and 3 would be the upper quartile. So I did that, scrolled up to the top, and it found my lowest number in the lower quartile. Upper quartile, same thing, quartile. Oops, I got to type in equals. Quartile, open parentheses, B2, colon, B52, comma, 3. And hit enter, and it gives me that data. And then finally, my maximum, I just type in the word or equals, max, open parentheses, B2, colon, B52. And hit enter, and that gave me an error because it didn't like that. So I'll do that again. Let's see here. Let's see where I made a mistake. Max. Hit Kyrie here. Hold my shift button down. And go down to the bottom. B52. Close parentheses. Hit enter. Let's see what it did. Did it get it that time? It did. All right. So if I want to know what my equation is now, I look. I click on the 84, there's my equation. Click on lower quartile, there's my equation. My upper quartile, there's my equation. And my maximum, there's my equation. Now, right here, I want to type in the word skimmer data. Okay? And I'm going to highlight. That's why we left that C column blank. I'm going to highlight all of that, just like I just did. So I highlighted all that, and then I'll go up to Insert and go to Chart. And when I go into Insert and Chart, it's going to give me, oh, look at that, there's all my data. But this is not a Box and Whisker or Candlestick Plot. I need to find that. So I come over here to column chart right here, and I click that down arrow, scroll down till I find my wonderful candlestick chart. Click on candlestick and move this to where I can see it. Maybe find a way to move it. So I'm going to get rid of this real quick and I'll let you look at it. Now, real quick, if I click on this, you see that I have all my data there. It says my minimum is my 84, my maximum is 816, my lower quartile is 220, my upper quartile is 398. So if I were grading on this particular candlestick chart, I could say that the very top point of this thing, a maximum of 816, if you fell within 816, you got an A. If you fell between this range between 750 and this upper quartile right there, upper quartile being around 398, then that was a B. If you fell within that range, that could be a C. Fell down here below, lower quartile being, let me see what lower quartile, 220 up to 250, that could be a D. And then finally, your lowest 220 would be an F. If I wanted to grade that way, I could. I'm not, thankfully, because you don't want me to grade that way. You want me to grade with completion of this particular assignment. But that is how this all works. Hope that was informative. And if you have any questions, send me an email and I'll